Hey guys, welcome to Complete Guide, Filming on the Line. We are going to talk about camera work, filming, photography as well. I'm a master instructor, but mainly photographer. That is how I started actually freediving. And I've been working with mostly fauna, pelagic, specifically sharks. And from filming, documenting, and videographing animals, I also transition for filming people. Of course, we live in the time of social media, so everybody wants to have a very cool video of their dives on Instagram or TikTok, okay? That's one way and reason why to do it. But I think most importantly is about giving a feedback. It's very different when we dive and we get correction from our coaches, and it's very different when we can see it and we see every piece and every movement of ours, what we are doing under the water, because a lot of the time we are not aware of it. So filming on the line is not just having a nice memory from your course or from your deep camp, but it's also a good way how to see what are we actually doing under the water. So it's a very good way how to help us to develop better technique. So let's talk about shooting with action camera, okay? I think most of you guys are going to shoot on the line with action camera. We are talking about the videos. So there are few things I would consider to think about when you are shooting. First of all, it depends how the lighting is. So always be aware where the sun hitting the water. So then, you know, like, it depends what kind of picture, what kind of video you want to get from your line. You can play it around. Just the light and the sun penetrates the water. So if you are going to be against the sun, you are going to see only the silhouette of the diver on the line. So it depends. If you are going to make fun videos and want something more dramatic, it's okay. If you are looking specifically for the technique, you are not going to see a lot because the diver is going to be exactly on the sun and on the light. Another thing is visibility. How is the visibility in the water? If it's 10 meters, 15, 20 meters, you can play with it. You can play the distance from the diver. If you can get a little further because the visibility is great, perfect. If not, you need to follow the diver or you need to set up a different approach to the line. Another important thing is what are you using for shooting with your camera? So this is my tool for me. It's different, it's a longer stick, it's actually telescopic. The telescopic option I use only for interaction with animals and also sometimes. For line training, I never have it more than this. Why is it this and not the typical floating stick? Several reasons for me. This one doesn't float. Maybe you're like, oh, this one doesn't float, so if something happened, then you are going to lose your camera. But when you hold the camera very well and you're aware of what you are doing, you are not going to lose your camera. So when I'm not using the camera, I always put the camera inside the buoy and make sure it's secure. So why I shoot this way? Because I can secure this any way I want. Most of the time we are shooting vertically, not just for social media, but you can see the whole position of the diver and the whole body, and it gives you much more space in the camera. And another way, I can play with it. So if I have too much pressure of the water, I don't want the camera doing this. So I can press the camera on my shoulder. And if it's not working on the shoulder, a lot of the time it depends on the angle of the water. If I'm filming here, it's nothing wrong to put the camera like this. It's always about stabilizing the camera. I know in the end, in the post-production, you can stabilize the picture, but if you don't have to do it in post-production and you can do it already when you are filming, it's perfect. Also about the framing. I don't use complete wide angle. I'm trying to be somewhere in between, so maybe 12 to 16 ratio, it's perfect. So you still have the whole diver and the whole picture of the silhouette and of the movement. If you do too much of the wide angle, then you have to come much more closer, and sometimes you are losing the light or you are losing the perfect position for it. Let's talk about more, what about timing? Timing is very important filming on the line. So you're going to have a different situations. You are going to have complete beginners and you are going to have very experienced divers. So that is also a different how you are going to film. Because when they are beginners, they have enough problems to take care of themselves. So they are not going to communicate with you. So that is more about intuition. So you are starting to know your student and you are going to see the breathing, you are going to see the movement, and you are going to see when they are taking the snorkel out, for example, or when they are preparing for the last breath. So you have few options. If you don't want to be like the typical just following the diver in the same moment when they are going down, you can actually go a few seconds before. And it makes the videos more interesting. It's also playing with the light. So what we do with the beginners, you are not going to ask them to give you a sign because they are really focused on their own thing. So you are going to watch them how they breathe, and you are going to see when they are taking the last breath. And you can see that, so you can take your breath and go down and start filming. So you are already around 5 meters below them, and then you can see the whole point of view with the sun penetrating the water and the diver going down. And in some point you meet them, and then you can follow them all together. On the end of the line you wait when they turn, and then you are going face to face following them, and in the end of it you can let them go a little bit more up and then follow with the camera and filming the whole kicking and everything. So that's a good tip for beginners. If you are filming somebody more advanced, or you are filming a preparation for competition or anything like that, you can talk to your diver, and there are a few things you can agree. Something that is very gentle, that is not disturbing the diver, and he can give you just like a one finger sign for you to know that he's ready to take his last breath. It's a perfect timing because he's relaxing or she's relaxing in the water, and then right before they are going to do their last preparing breath for the deep dive, they can just move the finger, and then you know for you that's the sign to go. So you do your dive, you again go ahead, you can wait in certain depth. It depends on how you want to film the diver. So there are a lot of different options how to film.